Before we begin, if you're drawn to real, raw, emotionally gripping stories like this, please subscribe to the channel. And when it ends, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. I still remember the exact words she said that night. Honestly, my family doesn't really think you're enough. They weren't yelling words. There was no dramatic pause or exaggerated delivery. It was quiet, almost casual, like she was mentioning the weather. But the weight of it crashed into me harder than anything I'd ever felt. I was sitting across from her in our apartment, holding a plate of the dinner I had spent an hour preparing. The smell of garlic and roasted chicken filled the room, but it didn't mask the emptiness her words left behind. My hands went cold, and for a second I couldn't even speak. Wait, what? I finally managed to whisper. She avoided my eyes. I mean, they just think I can do better. Someone more accomplished. You know, someone who fits with them. Accomplished. Fits. Better. Those words, casual as they were, felt like knives. And what hurt the most wasn't just what she said. It was the truth I felt behind it. She had thought it for months, maybe years, and only now had the courage to admit it. For days afterward, I questioned everything. Had I really done enough? Was I not ambitious enough, smart enough, successful enough to earn her family's approval? Or hers? I replayed every dinner, every holiday, every casual comment. Was this all a lie? Was my life together a performance in someone else's play? Then the subtle signs started to make sense. The sudden secrecy with her phone. Quick flinches when I passed by. Calls she said were work that she took outside. The little excuses that never really added up. I started noticing them and telling myself I was paranoid, but deep down I knew. It wasn't just about her family's opinion anymore. It was about how she treated me. How her smile sometimes didn't reach her eyes when she looked at me. How she laughed a little too easily when texting, as if sharing a private joke I wasn't meant to hear. I hated who I became in those weeks. The man who couldn't sleep without checking messages, who memorized schedules, who turned every unexpected smile into a secret waiting to be uncovered. And then I found it. A phone, forgotten in the bathroom. A message preview lit up the screen. I didn't want to read it, but my own heart betrayed me. Can't wait to see you tonight, babe. Been thinking about you all day. The word babe should have felt familiar. It didn't. I sank to the floor of the bathroom, staring at the tile like it could give me answers. I felt dizzy, betrayed, humiliated, and numb all at once. She had lied. She had hidden something behind every casual dinner, behind every polite smile, behind every I love you. When I confronted her, I didn't shout. I didn't throw things. I just held up her phone and let the silence speak for me. Her face went pale. She tried to explain, at first stammering, then almost rehearsed. It just happened, she said. I didn't mean for it to. I didn't mean to hurt you. I listened. I let her speak. I let her justify. I let her cry. And then I realized I didn't need explanations. I didn't need apologies. What I needed was respect. What I needed was someone who saw me as whole, not lesser, not enough. So I made a choice. I packed a bag. Slowly, methodically, quietly. I didn't yell. I didn't slam doors. I let her watch me walk away. Not out of cruelty, not out of pride, but because I finally understood my own worth. I walked out of our apartment and into the night. The air was cold, the streets empty, but for the first time in months, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Free. Free from doubt. Free from someone else's judgment. Free from the weight of being measured and found wanting. In the days that followed, I replayed memories. Every anniversary, every quiet morning, every shared joke. And yes, it stung. I had loved her and a part of me always would. But love without respect is hollow. Love without honesty is dangerous. I had allowed myself to believe in a fantasy, and now I had to rebuild reality. She tried to call. She tried to text. She promised she would change, that she would leave the other person, that she still loved me. But I had learned something crucial. Words mean nothing if they are not paired with respect. If someone laughs at your value, or lets others do it for them, then their love is not enough. Months later, I look back and see a different version of myself, the man who finally refused to shrink for someone else's comfort. I see the man who chose dignity over desperate hope. And I see the man who now builds a life where respect isn't optional, where love isn't conditional on approval, and where my worth is never measured by someone else's standards. It didn't happen overnight. Healing rarely does. I still feel pangs when I remember her voice, her laugh, the warmth we once shared. But I also feel pride. Pride in having walked away before being broken entirely. Pride in choosing myself when no one else did. She said my life, my career, my very being was lesser. But in walking away, I proved that nothing about me is small. Nothing about self-respect is negotiable. And nothing about love should ever require someone to laugh at your value for it to exist. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me share more real-life stories like this. And share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to walk away from someone who couldn't see your worth? How did it feel? I want to hear your stories.